Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my Spirit Periscope tonight. Apologies for the delay in the scope tonight. I was at a conference and we went significantly over time, but it was an amazing experience, and I'm totally gonna share some more takeaways from that on tomorrow morning scope at 9 a.m. So if you are new to my scope, I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us your name so we can all get to know each other a little bit better. And just to talk a little bit about who I am, welcome Nathan. I have my own business. It's called Sexuality Power. You can look us up on sexualitypower.com, also on Twitter at sexualityexpert. And I really dedicate myself to working with individuals and couples to live the empowered life that they wish to manifest for themselves through the self-expression of their sexuality. So that is what I do, and I love supporting people on their journey to self-empowerment. So the topic for tonight is going to be love. Because, you know, we've talked so much about sexuality, and I've talked a little bit already about our sacral chakra, but one of the things we just haven't touched upon all the way is love. And I want to get into that with you all. So if you're just joining, I see a bunch of people just joining. Welcome. I am so grateful to have you with me. Thank you to my lifers, you know, the people who've been watching me since I began a few weeks ago. And thank you for the newcomers. You know, I would love for you all to hit the little guy on your screen and share with your followers, share this with your friends so that we can get as many people on this scope as possible. So the topic for tonight is love. And, you know, love is so often misperceived, misunderstood. And like I've said before, if you are disrespectful, I will block you. This is not your typical sexuality broadcast. This is really about self-empowerment and fulfillment, not about showing tits. So that is my 2 cents for all of y'all who might be interested in that. This is not the network for that type of show. So getting back to love, right? You know, so often love is misperceived, misunderstood. Welcome, Salem. And you know, we associate to love as if it's limited. And you know, often, you know, I hear people say, you know, I love this person and now I don't, or, you know, I'm not in love, and just so many different ways of expressing. How do we talk about unspoken stuff? What unspoken stuff would you like to talk about? We talk about different unspoken topics throughout the week and the month. So if there's anything that you want us to talk about, feel free to bring it up in the chat. And if we can't cover it on tonight's scope, we'll definitely make an entire scope on that topic. So that's how I work. I get my topics from my audience. I love when you guys share things that you want to talk about and you want me to cover. So I am totally open to any suggestions that you may have. So, you know, so often we really hi everyone who's just joining. And so often we just don't connect to the true definition of love, right? And love is power, right? Love is our innate power. It is what we are made of, right? Energy at its purest form is love, and therefore it's unlimited, it's unconditional, it's infinite. And I think that that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned Hey, again, pansexuality may be a good topic for another time. I will definitely talk about pansexuality this coming week, I promise. Stay tuned. I always announce my topics either through Periscope the night before or on Twitter. So check me out and we will definitely talk about that. So in order to just go a little deeper on this topic, I want us to talk about how, and I'm driving, so I'm on my way back home, and definitely will, you might see the car bumping a little bit, but I'm trying to be live. So this is me live. So love, it's unconditional, and we often think of love as this limited, finite emotion, right? And it's so much more than emotion. And I want us all to really sit with that and let that sink in and really meditate on that, like literally meditate on that tonight or tomorrow morning, and think about, how are you expressing love in your daily life? How are you coming into your world through love? I gave my dog 2 Prozac tablets because he looks sad. Is that bad? I'm not familiar with animals, honestly. So that's not my expertise. I would say go to the vet on that one. So, really tap into love. Tap into how are you embodying love? How are you connecting to that innate energy within you that really is what we are made of, right? So often we are disconnected from love. It's sometimes even seen as a lesser emotion, when really it's far from the truth. How do you define unspoken love? Unspoken love. I'm not sure what you're getting at with unspoken love. If you're talking about love that isn't expressed, I would challenge you. Why aren't you expressing that love? Why aren't you sharing openly, right? So often we limit ourselves, we limit our expression because we think someone's gonna judge us or reject us, or any of those judgment thoughts, right? And in my experience, and I can only speak for myself, whenever I've expressed love, it's appreciated, right? It's embraced, it's accepted. Even if the person might not love me back, they can still genuinely appreciate the fact that you're expressing love towards them. So, I want to keep it short tonight because I know it's pretty late, and I want to still get to my Spanish speaking audience as well. But just take time tonight and focus in on that. Like, how are you feeling love in your life? How are you expressing love in your life? How are you being a being of love and light to yourself and to others? That completely connects back to our sexuality. If we cannot love ourselves, our bodies, our sexuality, and express that, it's going to be super hard to do that with someone else, to experience pleasure, to experience orgasm, to have these deep, intimate, passionate relationships that I know we all want. If you're here, if you're watching, I know that that's what you're seeking. So if that's what you want, really tap into how are you connecting to love. So I'll leave it there for tonight. I love you all. I wish you a passionate night. And until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the morning inspiration, have a good one. Bye.